We're dividing and multiplying fractions. Let's take a look at another problem until you call in. I've got a problem where we've got 4 3/8 divided by 12. Sometimes our students are having issues dividing fractions when you've got just a whole number there. So let's take a look at this problem. You have 4 3/8 divided by 12. You could rewrite 4 3/8. You keep the denominator the same as of 8. You multiply 8 times 4, which is 32. You add the 3 to get 35. 35. Divided by 12. You have to have another way. You have to have another way of writing 12. Another way of saying 12 is 12 over 1. There's no difference between 12 and 12 over 1. So if I change the problem from 12 to 12 over 1, I haven't changed anything. I've only rewritten the number 12. Let's keep that in mind as we look at this problem. So we have 4 3/8 divided by 12. Another way to say 12 is 12 over 1. There is no difference between this statement and this statement because 4 3/8 is the same thing as 35 over 8. And 12 is the same thing as 12 over 1. This expression is the exact same as this expression. This is important. This is important to know this because we told you that when you when you divide two fractions, you have to keep the first fraction the same. You change the division to multiplication, and then you flip the second fraction. You must flip the second fraction. Okay, so let's take a look at this. You've got to know that 12 is the same thing as 12 over 1, because if you don't, you might end up taking 35 over 8 multiplied by 12 over 1. See, the common mistake that I find students make is they don't realize that 12 over 1 is the same thing as the original problem, which is 12. You've got to remember that 12 over 1 is the original problem. You must, in this case, you must flip 12 over 1 to be 1 over 12. All right? 1 over 12. And now you observe to see if you can cross cancel. There's no number that can divide into 1 and 8. That'll change the 1 and 8. And then there's no number that will divide into the 35 and the 12. So you can just go on and multiply fractions. We indicated earlier that the way you multiply fractions is very simple. You multiply the two numerators together, and then you multiply the two denominators together, and it's just that simple. Let's take a look. 35 times 1 is 35, and 8 times 12, you end up with 12 times 8. That's going to be 72, but let's just show the work. Or excuse me, that's going to be 96, but let's show the work. 2 times 8 is 16. You carry the 1. You end up with 96. All right, so you end up with 96. So the final answer is 35 over 96. 35 times 1 is 35. 8 times 12 is 96. All right, I think we have a caller. Let's take this caller. Good evening, caller. Thank you for calling Chicago Students Dominate Math. How can I help you this evening?
I got a problem with number 9 and its fractions.
Okay, turn your television down and talk to me through the telephone. And go ahead and give me the problem, okay? What's the problem?
1 over 2.
Okay.
Times 22.
Times what?
22.
22. All right, I want you to stay on the air, okay? Let's take a look at this problem. 1/2 times 22. I want you to notice that this problem is similar to the problem we did earlier today. Another way to say 22 is 22 over 1. Are you okay with that, caller?
Yes.
Are you okay with me, instead of writing 22, writing 22 over 1?
Yeah.
You understand that's the same thing?
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look. I'd like you to notice that there's a number that you can divide into both 2 and 22. What number is 2 and 22 divisible by?
Huh?
What number can you divide out of 2 and 20?
11.
What?
11.
Okay, you can divide 2 by both those numbers and it would give you 11. All right, so that's very good. If you divide that by 2, you get 1. If you divide this by 2, you get 11. And I'm encouraging you to what we call, what we just did was called cross canceling. And now you're just multiplying two fractions. And like we said earlier, all you're doing is just multiplying straight across. Okay, caller, so what's 1 times 11?
1 times 11.
Yeah.
11.
11. And then what are you going to do down here?
You gonna add?
Okay, don't forget that you're multiplying.
Yeah, multiply.
1 times 1. What do you get?
1.
1. So the final answer is 11 divided by 1, which is 11. Okay, caller?
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, the number 10. 2, 24.
All right, let's take a look. 24.
Times 1 half 3.
Say that one more time.
Number 10. 24 times 1 over 3.
1 over 3. Caller, I want you to help me with this one, okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready? All right, so let's take a look at this problem. This is the problem that you gave me. 24 times 1 over 3. Isn't that the problem you gave me?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to turn your television down, okay?
Okay.
Turn your television down, and I want you to talk to me through the telephone.
Okay.
Okay, so how would you do this problem? What's another way to say 24?
24 times.
What was another way that we said 22?
Oh. 22.
When you told me half divided by 22, what was another way that we could say the number 22?
11.
Let's take a look at this problem one more time. Another way we said 22 was 22 over 1. Now another way to say 24 is, can you tell me another way to say 24?
24 over 1.
24 over 1. Very good. 24 over 1 times 1/3. Another way to say 22 is 22 over 1. Another way to say 24 is 24 over 1. What's another way to say 25?
25 times 1.
I can't hear you.
1 over 25.
25 over 1.
Yeah.
25 over 1. So let's take a look at this problem. So I want you to be able to see that you can divide a number into the 20. There's a number that can divide both into 24 and the 3, and it's 3. If you divide this by 3, you get 1. If you divide that by 3, you'll get 8. And now all you're doing is just multiplying across. What will you get in the numerator, caller?
Huh?
What's 8 times 1?
8.
8. And what are you going to do on the bottom here?
Multiply.
Multiply what times what?
1.
1 times what?
3.
No, that 3 we cross that out.
Yeah.
You're going to end up multiplying 1 times 1. And 1 times 1 is 1. You get the final answer, which is 8. Okay, that's all we have time for right now. Okay, caller? You call back next week. We'll answer more questions for you. Is that okay? All right, we got to go.
Hey, my name is Tony. Let me give a shout out to everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you very much. I shout out to you too.